Imam Abu Hanifa is the founder of traditional Islam. Nor Imam Malik only, nor Imam Shafi Ahmad bin Hanbal. No, everybody is a part and parcel of traditional Islam. And the founder of traditional Islam is Prophet Muhammad himself. Because he was sent for the whole mankind. Ya Yuhannas inni Rasulullah ilaykum jamiyya. I have been sent as a prophet and messenger to the whole of mankind. When you are a messenger of the whole of mankind, you are not the messenger only for Meccans or Medinans or the Arabs or a specific tribe. You are a messenger for the whole mankind. It means your message includes globality, all societies, and for all times. You are وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. Up till time will exist. All the time and space, up till the existence of the time and space, his prophethood and messengership will continue. And it will never be repealed by any other prophet or any other book. So it means if he is the prophet of the last time before the day of resurrection, it means he is the most ancient prophet and he is the most modern prophet. His message has to be the most ancient, the most practical, the most constructive, the most developmental, the most continuing, and the most progressive and the most modern. He has to accommodate everything. Because this is the requirement of his prophethood. Globality and permanence of his prophethood and messengership. So they were maintaining the development of intellectual capacity so that they may address the medical issues, the geographical issues, the astronomical issues, the biological issues, the cultural issues, the psychological issues, ecological issues. Every kind of issue, whatever had becoming necessity of the time, they were there to address each and everything. That's why I say that there is no clash between, when we say significance of traditional Islam in the modern world, it means this is one and the same thing. Modern world has not appeared now. Go back 300 years before. When every century was changing, the newly coming century was the modern world for the old century. Second century was a modern world for the first century, people of the first century. Third century was a modern world for the people of second century. 11th century was a modern world of modernity for the people of 10th century. And so on and so forth. 21st century is a modern world for the people of 20th century. If Islam and tradition, and what traditional Islam is? Tradition means that Islamic knowledge has a tradition of addressing every need of modernity in every century. If Islam has been addressing every need of modernity for the last 1500 years, why Islam cannot address in the new coming century too? So continuity and accommodation of modernity in every time is in fact the traditional Islam. We wrongly consider, as if when we talk of traditional Islam, a wrong perception comes to our mind. We think as if just the madrasas, just the mullahs, the Maulvis, just we think of extreme religiosity. Extreme religiosity. We think of specific forms of turbans and jubbas and specific kind of people. Specific, very narrow discipline. Nothing of all these things are to be known as traditional Islam. Traditional Islam is a universe of knowledge. It includes Quran and Sunnah, and it goes up to the science. Embryology. Can't you imagine the modernity of the message of Quran, which begins from the first verse in the cave of Hira. Iqra bismi rabbikal ladhi khalaq, khalaqal insana min alaq. The first divine message conveyed and communicated to Holy Prophet was a scientific message. It was not the message of worship, the message of salah, message of zakah, message of psalm, message of performance of hajj. No. Message of observance of worship. No. Message of halal and haram. No. The first message was the message of science. So if the first message of Quran is the message of science, الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ عَلَقٍ. This word has most wrongly translated by the translators of Quran. Most of the translation possess this error, which alhamdulillah I have tried by the grace of Almighty Allah to correct it in my Quranic translation, Urdu and English both. They are published. It means الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ عَلَقٍ. The first divine message, Holy Prophet ﷺ, he never went to any university. Just consider the aspect of modernity in prophetic message. There were no university, no college, no medical science, no institution, no biology, no cosmology, no embryology, nothing. And the available knowledge at that time was Aristotelian science. The first very verse rejected Aristotelian thought of science. Through which source? This is the absolute accurate modernity of Islam. Said خَلَقَ الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ عَلَقٍ, that the human being has been created from alaq. And alaq means hanging mass to the endometrium of uterus. This is alaq. Wrong translations consist, if you go to the Holy Quran translation, which various scholars have done, unfortunately, they will transform the clot of blood. That's totally wrong. There is no level of any clot of blood in the whole process. From plantation of egg, division of cell, mitotic division and meiotic division, then the division of cell into two, then anaphase and telophase and prophase, all these four stages, then converting into the embryo, embryonic seven developments up to the fetus, and then the birth. Throughout the stage, starting right from the sperm and the ovum, or just writing from the zygote, which the first cell starts. At any stage, there is no space or no place of blood clot. So the question is, at that time, the human physical creation was known to be from the blood. This was Aristotelian science. Look at the accuracy of the modern thought of Prophet Muhammad in the Quran. Coming down from the Ghar of Hira, available existing scientific knowledge given by Aristotle is that the man creates from the blood, menstrual blood of the women. Holy Prophet rejected this scientific theory, saying min alaq. No. Alaq, alaqa, muallaq, the hanging thing. From there is ta'alluq and ilaqa. Said he is created, the man is created from a mass which hangs, hanging mass to the endometrium of uterus. That is alaq. It is like leech. And then Surah Al-Mu'minun, where the 7 embryonic developmental stages are mentioned. Nutfa, then alaqa, then mudgha, then all these stages up till the embryo, fetus. So the first message was the accurate scientific message, rejecting the wrong scientific theories prevalent at